SNL's anniversary show was an incredible reminder of all the amazing comedy that has come out of 50 years of Saturday nights in New York City, but it was also an event that very much triggered MAGA. As we can always come to expect, these people want to be victims. They want to be upset. They're always in their feelings, and this time it was Tom Hanks who got them there with a mockery of not just Trump, but MAGA at large that sent them into an absolute tailspin, poking fun at their really favorite thing to talk about at this point, which is DEI. And we are going to get into all of that. It was a really great clip from Tom Hanks that we're going to check out. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video. And if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way and it really does mean a lot to me. Now, before we get into Tom Hanks and the inevitable meltdown from MAGA that followed, I think we need a little bit of context on what this clip was about. So we're going to check out Donald Trump's complaints and Jasmine Crockett calling them out.
I am tired of the white tears. Listen, if you are competent, you are not concerned. When I walk into Congress every single day, you know why I don't feel a way and why you can't make me doubt who I am is because I know that I had to work 10 times as hard as they did just to get into the seat. When you look and you compare me to Marjorie Taylor Greene or me to Lauren Boebert, there is no comparison. And that is the life that we have always lived. So the only people that are crying are the mediocre white boys that have been beaten out by people that historically have had to work so much harder. This is why they don't want us to have education. This is why they are trying to literally say we won't fund the HBCUs, because they know that if they've already gone after affirmative action and they're saying, you know what, don't allow them to come into, say, these PWIs, as we call them, don't allow them to come into these institutions. We know why they created the HBCUs in the first place.
Third office, they put a big push to put diversity into the FAA's program. Then another article, the Federal Aviation Administration, this was before I got to office, recently, second term. The FAA is actively recruiting workers who suffer severe intellectual disabilities, psychiatric problems, and other mental and physical conditions under a diversity and inclusion hiring initiative spelled out on the agency's website. Can you imagine? These are people that are, I mean, actually their lives are shortened because of the stress that they have. Brilliant people have to be in those positions, and their lives are actually shortened, very substantially shortened because of the stress, where you have many, many planes coming into one target.
I think we can just plainly say it. MAGA is a racist political movement. I don't think that's taking it too far. They openly employ and support their little Doge engineers who say, I was racist before it was cool. Yet those kids making those public statements are a part of the administration. So I wouldn't say it's a stretch to say that MAGA is a racist movement. That is why this clip that we're going to check out from Tom Hanks on SNL made them so mad, and then we're going to read some of the reactions.
Thank you. Hey, now speaking of church, can I say something? If more folks went to church, we wouldn't be in this mess we're in now.
You know what? I agree with you, Doug. I'd like to shake your hand, sir. Here we go.
No,
oh, no.
Like that.
Oh, no. It's just a handshake. Yeah, it's just a handshake. Yeah, all right. You're welcome in Black Jeopardy anytime.
All right. Well, thank you, my brother. Maybe I'll start a show for you to come on, and we'll call it White Jeopardy.
No. We don't need it. We don't need it.
Oh man, it's true. It really, they got mad, but it is true. This is how they act. It's kind of a spot-on impression from Tom Hanks. And like I said, there's a meltdown for MAGA, and we can check it all out right here. MAGA melts down over Tom Hanks playing racist Trump fan on SNL 50. Supporters of President Donald Trump lost their minds Sunday night at a reappearance of a Trump-loving conservative character on SNL's 50th anniversary show. For the commemorative episode, SNL returned to some of its most popular sketches, including Black Jeopardy, a game show that first debuted on the comedy series in 2014. The premise asking questions that are favorable to the black community, which often leaves its white contestants fumbling for an answer. Hanks initially made headlines with his character Doug in a 2016 sketch. Hanks wore a Make America Great Again cap and an American Eagle shirt and spoke with a Southern drawl. He also surprisingly had a knack for answering the show's questions correctly. In that sketch, Black Jeopardy, host Darnell Hayes, played by Kenan Thompson, attempts to shake Doug's hand, which Doug backs away from but eventually agrees to, as we saw in the reoccurrence in the clip we just checked out. Popular right-wing commentator Benny Johnson raged at SNL over the idea Donald Trump just won a landslide election and has never been more popular with Americans. They have learned nothing. Meanwhile, Outkick founder Clay Travis echoed similar sentiments to Johnson surrounding Trump's fan base in the 2024 election. Another popular conservative personality, Mario Nawfal, described the sketch as tone-deaf. Hollywood still doesn't get it, portraying Trump supporters as racist caricatures while he's winning record minority support. SNL's trying 2016 jokes in 2025. A former aide to RFK Jr., Link Lauren, seethed at the moment, claiming backlash against the MAGA movement as racist is disgusting. This show wonders why their ratings are in the gutter, Lauren wrote. Trump won the popular vote. This tried trope that MAGA is racist is disgusting. SNL is an unfunny show for snobbish liberal elites. The current Republican Party is a big tent coalition comprised of many former Democrats. Good riddance, SNL. Yeah, so the party that embraces people who say they were racist before it was cool and constantly attacks DEI as the root of all problems in America might be a racist party, MAGA, just so you're aware of that. And this idea that SNL is unfunny when it's poking at y'all, but when you make the most ridiculous, stupid, and actually unfunny jokes about liberals, they're great. I don't know. I don't think conservatives have ever really understood a piece of media in their lives. They're not funny. Their jokes don't land. It's all just victimhood. But if we are on the topic of SNL and on the topic of SNL appearances that really made MAGA upset, I think it is only fair we check out one of our favorites from the person who should be president right now, Kamala Harris.
Oh, wow, well, this is it. The last campaign stop in Pennsylvania. Gosh, I wish I could talk to someone who's been in my shoes, you know? A black South Asian woman running for president, preferably from the Bay Area.
You and me both, sister.
It is nice to see you, Kamala.
It is nice to see you, Kamala, and I'm just here to remind you, you got this. Because you can do something your opponent cannot do. You can open doors.
I see what you did there, like to a garbage truck, right?
I don't really laugh like that, do I?
A little bit. Now, Kamala, take my Pamela. The American people want to stop the chaos.
And end the drama.
With a cool new stepmamala. Kick back in our pajamas and watch a rom-Kamala.
Like Legally Blondula.
And start decorating for Christmas. Fa la 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 la. Because what do we always say? Keep Kamala and carry on a la. We know each other so well, we even finish each other's belief in the promise of America. Exactly. Now come on, let's bring it in. I gotta tell myself something over here. Come here, man. I'm gonna vote for us.
Great. Any chance you are registered in Pennsylvania?
Nope, I am not.
Well, it was worth a shot.
And live from New York, it's Saturday!
Someone with a sense of humor that should have been in the White House. That is a tough watch when we're all thinking about it. especially with just the ridiculous attacks that Donald Trump decided he was going to levy against Kamala Harris, calling her a DEI vice president, and clearly that transition from the campaign to the administration. But if you want to talk DEI, if you want to talk about who's unqualified, can we not just look at Donald Trump's cabinet? Pete Hegseth, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., soon to be Kash Patel, Linda McMahon. Even his vice president, J.D. Vance, barely has any experience in government, and he clearly doesn't know what he's doing. Look what happened over the weekend in Munich. Vance is a moron, and he's annoying. People don't like him. He's arrogant. He's kind of a words I can't say on YouTube. But seriously, you have the cabinet of unqualified losers, Donald. Just take a look at RFK Jr. being grilled by Elizabeth Warren and tell me he's qualified.
Secretary of HHS, Robert Kennedy will have the power to undercut vaccines and vaccine manufacturing across our country. And for all of his talk about follow the science and his promise that he won't interfere with those of us who want to vaccinate his kids, the bottom line is the same. Kennedy can kill off access to vaccines and make millions of dollars while he does it. Kids might die, but Robert Kennedy can keep cashing in.
Senator, I support vaccines. I support the childhood schedule. I will do that. The only thing I want is good science, and that's it.
How about then say you won't make money off what you do as Secretary of HHS?
Before we go to Senator Tillis, I think it would be important for me to make it very clear that Mr. Kennedy has gone through the same Office of Government Ethics process as every single other nominee.
RFK Jr. quite literally only has his job because he's a political Nepo baby. RFK Jr., the craziest and most radical popular conspiracy theorist, maybe not popular, but well-known conspiracy theorist in America, is not someone right now, while we're dealing with bird flu, which is hiking up egg prices, who should be in charge of health and human services in the United States. It is a ridiculous notion to even consider. That's MAGA. They don't care about who's qualified. They're obsessed with aesthetics. They're obsessed with labels. They're obsessed with being the victim. That's what it's all about. That's why Donald Trump's cabinet is full of Fox hosts and people willing to suck up to him and go on TV and debase themselves. That is what it is all about for them. The appearances of everything. They actually cared about getting things done. Egg prices wouldn't be up 300%, and Donald Trump wouldn't be focused on renaming bodies of water. But that is their administration. That is what they care about. And it's why they lose their mind when they are very clearly poked fun at, for the truth, that Tom Hanks delivered. But at least we'll get a good laugh out of it. And we will continue to call them out. Maybe not as hilariously as Tom Hanks did, but that is a pretty high bar to set. But we're going to do our best. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video. And if you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. Until next time, I'll see you soon.